Hey, it's Charlie here. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving away my secrets for how I hit my first 10k per month. And the reason I am making this video is to help my younger self, basically. Because a year and a half ago, for the first 6 months of running my agency, I could not book meetings, I could not sign clients, I felt lost, I generally had no idea what I was doing wrong, or I just didn't know what I was doing in total. But nonetheless, I want to make this video to help, even if I can just help one person. That is the goal of today's video. The amount of value I'm going to give you is disgusting. It's going to be like unbelievable, and it's going to give you so much clarity around what you actually need to do day to day to hit that number. So let's get into this. So before we actually get to the technical elements of how we're going to do this, I need you to understand the simple maths behind it, because the closer we can visualize the actual numbers behind it, the more likely it is to actually happen. So to get to 10k per month, which is really simple, right? 10k a month. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because nothing in life is easy. We're building a business here. It's going to be stressful, but I'm going to tell you how you can do it. So 10k per month, you basically need a niche, first of all. If you don't have a niche, then you obviously can't do that. And you obviously need a service. But assuming you've got these two things, let me explain the maths, and I'll go back to this of how we can actually make sure we have service market fit, how we can have a product size offer. I want to go over exactly what you need to do, and even the day-to-day activities and where you should spend your time and energy. But first of all, I want to explain the maths. So 10k a month, you basically need 5 clients. So 5 clients paying you 2k a month, or 10 clients paying you 1k a month. You get the point. Or yeah, I'm not going to go there. You get the point, right? So how can we get these 5 clients? Now, it goes back to your niche. Your niche is everything. Your understanding of your niche is the most important thing. So when it comes to your niche, right, and if you don't understand, how you can pick a niche, you basically want to figure out who you want to help in life. It's going to be hard to build an agency if there's no purpose or there's no fulfillment behind what you're doing. So for example, I decided to work with coaches who help their clients with mindset, or let's say fitness coaching. These are some typical clients I bring on. And the reason I decided to go for that niche was because I knew that if I could get them more clients, then they can just do good for the world, because they're going to make more people fit. They're going to, let's say I'm working with a mindset coach, they're going to help someone with their mental health. There's so many factors that goes into it, but you need purpose in who you're helping. And once you understand that, you also need to find out who you can actually help the most. So these two things are so important when it comes to niche selection. And then obviously your service is just a matter of your niche, because you shouldn't be providing what you want to provide. You should be providing what the market wants. And you've got your market here, right? That's your niche. And you've got your service. You need to bridge the gap. You need service market fit. If you don't have service market fit, it's going to be hard to build a successful agency or online business or whatever it is. So once you've got service market fit though, so let me just put this here, right? Service S, yeah. It's going to be easy because we can then resonate. Now resonance is everything. And if you want to know what resonance means, it's so important. Like, please do not skip this, because I could not sign clients for 6 months because I didn't understand this. So resonance is basically saying to your niche, look, I know you've got this specific problem and I've got a solution to it. That is what resonance is. It's understanding your niche. And when you have this, we can then manifest that into the copy. So the actual words behind getting people to get on a meeting. Because if we think of appointment setting, right, what actually is appointment setting? Appointment setting is simply applied psychology. We're dealing with humans. We're literally just dealing with human behavior. So if you can understand your prospect's brain and how they think and how they operate and what platforms they hang out at, it's going to be a lot easier. And I'll get to that in a minute, but to get these 5 clients, you're going to need appointments. Now, with a 10% closing rate, obviously you need 50 appointments. Now, I'll give you a tip, right? Life never goes the way it's meant to go. This 50 appointments will not get you 5 clients, unless you're insanely good at sales. But what happens most often than not is we have a 70% show up rate, or 80% show up rate. So realistically, we need like 65 appointments. 65 appointments. now, how can we get these 65 appointments? Now, this will definitely help if you have resonance. Massive, massive factor. So assuming you've just done what we've talked about here, right? What is the best way to get these 65 appointments? What I would do if I had to start again is I would do two things. I would work on, and it goes back to what you're selling as well, which should be your niche's problems. But if you're selling like AI solutions or, I don't know, content or whatever you're selling, right? You have to create content. You have to create content in 2024. Like, there's no two ways about it. It's going to be hard to build a business if you're not educating your niche. Educating your niche is everything. So, educating. Now, you can educate your niche, right? It doesn't have to be on the front end. You can have this in the middle of the funnel. Now, what I mean by this, right, is let's say you book an appointment. Let's say you work with roofers. Now, roofers are unlikely to go onto YouTube and be problem aware, which means that, like most people, the reason like they watch YouTube videos and the reason YouTube content works really well for like scaling businesses is because people are problem aware. They're looking for solutions. But let's say you're working with like your demographic, because you should be creating content on the niche that you're in, right? But it wouldn't make sense to create YouTube videos if you're in roofing or HVAC or like med spas. It just wouldn't work. However, what you can do is you can educate your niche when they book a call. So when they book a call with you, you can send them videos, you can send them resources, you can build the reciprocity. So when you do get on the call, you've already pre-sold them. And people think, right, on sales calls, the pitch is what's going to push people over the edge. No, the pitch should be like the icing on the cake. The prospect should have decided that they want to work with you before you even get to the pitch, because you should have asked the right questions on the sales call. But nonetheless, that's a story for another day. We need to go back to how we can get these 65 appointments. So it comes down to where your niche hangs out. If you're working with real estate, it wouldn't really make sense to do Instagram outreach. It would be better to do Facebook DMs or cold calling. You know, whereas I work with coaches, so building a brand on Instagram is probably the right thing to do. And I talked about this in my, I think my last video, right? But you've got outbound and you've got inbound. So you've got push marketing and you've got pull marketing. That basically means that we're pushing our offer, our productized offer onto people, whereas pull is we're pulling people into our productized offer. These are the only two ways, but the good news, right, is they go hand in hand. And I talked about asymmetric leverage in my, I think, second to last video, or a video a while ago, right, and how the better we optimize our content and we make our brand, obviously the better our outbound is going to be. And likewise, the more we do outbound, the more people are going to go towards our content on our page. So they work hand in hand. So what I would be doing, right, is I'd be building a brand. I'd be posting 3 reels a week. Now, I can't give this advice to everyone because, as I mentioned, it depends where your niche hangs out. If you're working with like an older demographic, then maybe LinkedIn would be a good place to build a brand. But the point is, nonetheless, right, put content out, educate your niche, and then also do the volume in terms of DMs. And to make this simple, you're 65 appointments away from hitting your 10K a month. It's just about getting these appointments and having the lead flow. Most people do not have the lead flow to be able to support this. So what we've covered so far, right, is you need a niche. Obviously, you need a service. You need service market fit. You need resonance, and you need copy. And that will get you to 10K per month. You need 65 appointments. How you get those 65 appointments is by pull marketing and push marketing, and to create content and educate, basically. But you can have that in the middle of the funnel, so you can educate when people book a call, basically. But now, what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to go more in depth into this. So now, what's important is we can't do any of these activities, so outbound, inbound, or just fulfillment in general, without leverage. So this will not work if you don't have leverage. And going back to this point, right, of getting 5 clients, even if I handed you 10 clients right now, you probably could not handle it. So that goes to show that you've got a bottleneck, you've got a constraint. And if you're familiar with the theory of constraints, which you should be, the theory of constraints, basically this means that a system And if you don't know what a system is, we've got inputs, so throughput. We've got outputs, so the outcome. We've got feedback, feedback in metrics, KPIs. So KPIs, key performance indicators. And then obviously we've got like environment. About that environment. So, I apologize, my handwriting sucks, but basically the more inputs we do, the more outputs we're going to do. And this can be both positive or negative. But at least we'll know, and we can then change the inputs to make them positive. But the theory of constraints, right, is a system, a client acquisition system, is only going to be as powerful as the strongest constraint. Whereas most people, right, and I can tell you what this is right now. So if we're doing outbound, the biggest constraint, most people think, oh, let me just get instantly a cold email software and pair it with a bit of copy and I'm going to book meetings. No, there's other variables involved in this. For example, a massive constraint could be the lead quality. So lead quality. If your lead quality is bad, it's going to be impossible because, yeah, the theory of constraints states that like no matter how good our message is, how much we resonate with the market, how good our product is, it won't work because our lead quality is bad. So likewise, with content, I'm trying to think what a constraint would be with content. I can't think of one right now, but there's definitely constraints with content. But yeah, that's one thing to note. So if you aren't booking meetings and you're generally trying, there's probably a constraint lower down the actual thing that's stopping you from being able to do that. Other variables, I mean. But now we need to create leverage. We need a productized offer because, as I mentioned before, you can't really do different services for each client. You need to do the same delivery for each client. Otherwise, you're going to be on like a hamster wheel. Here you are running around, not really doing anything. So you're going to be sad. And trust me, it gets insanely stressful. It's so much chaos, right? Luckily, getting to this number here, you can do this yourself. What I recommend doing, right, is I recommend figuring out how you can book a few meetings. So don't worry about the 65, obviously. Just try to book, 3 to 5. And once you can book 3 to 5 meetings, then you've got a proof of concept. And if you've got a proof of concept, so you've got proof, you can then get automation. And I've got a ton of videos on my channel about how to automate IGDMs, how to automate cold emails. You can check it out. I've got so many videos on how to use this. And you can also hire VAs and other things as well. So this is what I'd recommend. Book 3 to 5 meetings yourself and then purely just go insane on volume. Because yeah, that's like a constraint could be you. And most often than not, right, the fact that you can't get to 10K per month is you. It's simply you. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Let me repeat that. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change something right now, what do you think is going to change day to day? You have to change your mindset. You have to become the person that is capable of achieving this. And that isn't you right now. Because if you could achieve 10K per month, you would have already done it. So you would have already done it. So that's one thing to note, right? I'm trying to think what else my younger self would have said basically, but you will get there. Like it's inevitable to happen if you believe it's going to happen. I went 6 months without being able to book meetings, and part of it was I did not have service market fit, so doing more market research. And then more volume would have been a huge factor, and obviously just having the skill of fulfillment would have helped me because like one of the reasons you're finding it hard to create content, you're finding it hard to do like outbound or inbound, is because you don't believe in your service. So of course it's going to feel weird to push it on other people, whereas if you knew your service could truly change someone's life, you'd be doing volume every single day to try to change as many lives as possible. It's really that simple. And going back to the numbers, right, I can give you a perfect example. I think a guy in my program, right, Dante, he asked me, like, what's the game plan for 10K per month? Because he's booking a few meetings a day, right? And I told him, look, if you just keep doing what you're doing, it's going to happen. And I think, okay, here we go. So I basically said that, yeah, you don't need a team. You don't need growth specialists. You can get to 10K per month by yourself. And it's going to be chaotic. Like, it's going to be stressful. You think I don't deal with stress? Of course I deal with stress. It's insanely stressful every single day. And one of your biggest levers right now to pull is the fact that you don't have clients. Because if you don't have clients, all you should be doing is appointment setting. Like, it's actually quite relieving when you think about it. Like, imagine me, I've got 60, 70 clients, and I'm able to find time to do the work. So if you don't have clients, embrace your current situation, use it to your advantage, and just relax and be like, okay, all I have to do is book meetings and, do my content, create my, scripts and, do volume basically, and just do the high friction activities. So high friction, ones that cause you the most pain essentially, because by nature, the body and brain do not like change. It's basic homeostasis. Homeostasis. The brain and body like to remain the same temperature, the same conditions. So by causing things to do outside your comfort zone, and that's why it's a direct correlation between success and what is generally the thing you don't want to do. But nonetheless, right, I said to him, so right now, just for context, he's able to book like 2-3 meetings per 30 cold calls, which is really good because he's booking meetings. But he's trying to improve his sales ability. And I said to him, look, you're booking 2 meetings per 30 cold calls, which is an 8% booking rate. So worst case, let's say he closes at 7.5%, which is like worst case. This never happens. Usually it would be 15, 20% if you're a beginner, worst case 10%. But I just wanted to show him what's possible. So 7.5%. If he does 1,300 cold calls at 8% booking rate, that's 104 meetings. With a 70% show up rate, that's 72.8 meetings. Now, with a 7.5% closing rate, which is like terrible, this would never even happen, that's 6 clients, and he charges like 1.5k a month, I think. So I said to him, right, if you just do 30 calls a day, takes like an hour or two, you're 43 days away. And this will happen if he stays consistent. So the maths is simple. We've covered a lot in this video, so I don't want you to be overwhelmed. It's quite hard to actually see some of it. But long story short, right, you need resonance, understanding your niche's specific pain points and building a solution around that, service market fit, and then it's volume. Either if you're doing content, cool, it's volume. If you're doing Instagram messages, volume. If you're doing emails, volume. And I'm trying to think what else. It's mainly just volume, to be honest, man. Like, assuming you've got a niche and service, you just need to do what you need to do. And you probably know, watching this right now, what you need to do. But you're probably avoiding it. And that is up to you, which is why it goes back to changing yourself. Because it comes down to you. I've given you the information. I've got tons of videos, over 50 videos on my channel. You don't have an information problem. You've got an application problem. You can't apply what I'm telling you to do. So hopefully this video helped, and I promise you it will happen. You have to keep doing it though. You have to believe in yourself. If you give up, then you've lost, of course. But I said to myself when I started, look, I know this like agency model. So I know this business model was a good model. It teaches you sales. It teaches you appointment setting. It teaches you marketing. It teaches you customer service, so fulfillment. It teaches you so many skills. It's perfect. It works. It all just relies on you. So if you did find this video valuable, hit the like button and subscribe. That's literally all I ask. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, so if you could do that, it would mean the world, and I promise, by doing so, I will invest more into this channel. I'll create better content for you, and yeah, if you want to scale your agency, I'll leave a link in the description. You can work with me one-on-one, very closely, and I will help you get there. Nonetheless, hope you have an amazing day. Take care.